Hey everybody, it's Andrew from the Forgot to Grow Up podcast, and it's Monday, so you know what that means? That means it's a new episode of Binge Watching at Brunch. Now I gotta be honest with you, I struggled this week to figure out what movie exactly I wanted to do, what TV series, what anything, and I gotta tell you, it was tough because there's so many movies out there, and I try to only do the ones that I've seen all the way through multiple times. That way I can talk to you, kind of dive in a little further about them, give you my personal opinions rather than just something I read. And this week, I just went with something that's new. That it was a take off an older version of it, something that's been done many, many times. And I went with Beauty and the Beast. And to go with it this week, we're going to do, I don't even know what to call it, a yummy ass sandwich. That's all I can think of. We're calling it Beauty and the Feast. Okay, so for the sandwich, we've got a nice, fresh sourdough loaf here that I've already cut in half. Boom. Just so you know, I'm not eating the whole damn thing right now. I'm not that fat. I'm fat, not that fat. This is going to be lunch for the rest of the week. Anyway, so we got that. We got some provolone. We got two different kinds of salami. We've got mortadella. We got tomato here. We got some onion, some garlic, some hot peppers. And we got a little bit of marbled cheese. This is going to come out real nice, hopefully. And then we're going to dive in on Beauty and the Beast. So, growing up, I watched the animated one, the animated series that was on the Disney Channel, and I watched a couple of the holiday special ones that they put out, like Belle's Christmas or something like that. And I gotta say, I loved it. I remember being in elementary school watching a live action adaptation of the TV show of Beauty and the Beast. But when they turned around and said that they were going to make the live action movie, I had to dive right in. I was obsessed right off the bat. I remember listening to the Celine Dion songs when I was a kid and thinking, does it get better than this? Does it? Does it really? And fun fact, it doesn't. The songs from that, even as a grown man, were just unbelievable. So I've cut the tomato up, as you can see. Now I like to, when I'm making a sandwich, I like to do it layer by layer by layer. I don't like to dive in and just cut everything up all at once and then start sprinkling shit in. That's not how I make sandwiches. I'm going to take just a little bit of garlic. Not much. A little bit. I'm just going to quickly start to spread that. Need just a touch more, not too much. Just about that much. I'm just going to put that right on the loaf. Now some people put butter in there. I prefer to butter the outside. I'm going to put a little bit of butter with some yummy red pepper flakes in there. On top, just give it a little bit of heat. But yeah, so just a little bit of garlic. Throw the knife down. Now, since I cut up the tomato, I'm going to throw down our tomatoes. Oh, look at that. I need one more piece of tomato. Don't cut it like this at home, kids, because you'll probably cut yourself. Boom. And boom. I have no fear about eating the end of the tomatoes, just so you know. Now we cut up the onion. Boom. Boom. And now we go lengthwise again. We go boom. Boom. And boom. So as I was saying, even as a grown man, like I'll turn on the soundtrack and just jump right in, sing the hell out of all the songs from Beauty and the Beast. Pretty much any Disney movie, actually. Tarzan takes the cake though, just so everyone knows, and there's no discrepancies. The Tarzan soundtrack is the best Disney soundtrack ever. Period. No questions asked. Oliver and Company is pretty good too, but it's got to be Tarzan. I'm going to throw those on. I'm just going to wash my hands real quick. Quick dry. Now when they said that they were going to put Emma Watson in it, at first I was a little skeptical. I mean, I loved her in Harry Potter, loved her in The Circle, loved her in everything else she's been in, but it was a little off to me. Which brings me to a side point. Why does every European movie. Doesn't matter where in Europe it takes place, be it ancient Greece, ancient Rome, France, anywhere. I'm pretty sure, the Netherlands as well. Everywhere that they do this, they have to frickin' make it English. Everyone's English. You got every single person in there is English, and it makes no sense to me. They all have English accents. But I don't know why I was grabbing the cheese there. So now we're going to throw in our first layer of meat, which is going to be this. Like looking back at any historical movie you go watch, I bet you it's always English people who voice it. If Hercules, it's got to be an English accent. It makes no sense. It doesn't affect anything at the end of the day, but it just bugs the hell out of me, So bringing her in, I was like, okay, well, we'll see what they can do with it, see if they can make it work, and boy, oh boy, it works something fierce, because I didn't know she could sing. Turned out she could sing. They tweaked a few things here and there from the story. Now they're going to bring out the hot peppers. A few things here and there. Not much, just enough to make it interesting and give it a fresh take. I think their casting was bang on. I'm a fan of Kevin Kline. And like I said about Emma Watson, I was a little conflicted at first, but she was good. Got I'm drawing a blank. I think it's Emma Thompson. I believe just got to do a quick check. Yeah, Emma Thompson, the author from that Will Ferrell book. Wow, Will Ferrell movie. Can't remember what it's called. Stranger Than Fiction. That's what it was. She's in there. And that lady can sing something fierce too. The pipes? Damn. But my favorite part of it was Ewan McGregor as Lumiere. Never saw that one coming. Not in a million years. I was sitting there watching it with my mom thinking, what the hell is that? Is that Ewan McGregor? And I had to wait all the way to the end to see him turn back into a person to find out it's freaking Ewan McGregor. Best surprise ever. So thanks, Disney. You got Sir Ian McKellen playing Cogsworth. That one threw me off a little bit. He did a great job at it, but I didn't see that one coming at all either. Now we're going to throw our last layer of meat. Now, if you want to put some mayo on this at home yourself, absolutely go ahead. Myself, I prefer to dip the sandwich in it when it's this yummy ass. Throw just a couple pieces of marble cheese on there. Don't need too much. And now we give the rest to the dog. Maybe you want some? There you go, Rox. Good girl. Gonna close up the sandwich. Take just a little bit of butter, not too much. Shave off a little bit. So Beauty and the Beast, if you have, any sense of nostalgia for your childhood, like most of our generation do, you definitely need to go check out this movie if you haven't yet. And I'm telling you, Scott, you got to check it out. I know you don't like to do it if there's no kids, but just go without the kids. Rent it. Go on. It's on Netflix, man. Watch it on Netflix. You won't be disappointed because it's a phenomenal movie. Now, we already got the oven heated up to 350. We're just going to throw this in there for a couple minutes. So now that we got the sandwich in the oven, I'm going to take a quick moment to break down the story. It's pretty much the same as the animated one, which is the same as the old fairy tale that's out there. And what happens is the prince of the castle, or the prince of the land, gets cursed because he's a dickhead. And he becomes a beast, magic beast. And then this beautiful lady in town, she's not your typical damsel in distress Disney princess. She doesn't want to be at all. She wants to be her own person. She wants to do adventures, read, escape in her books, live differently than all the other people in the village. So she runs after her dad and finds him captured in this castle with the beast. And she tells him, "Listen, I'll stick around, let my pops go." So that's what happens. He lets Dad go, lets Maurice go, but she has to stick around. And obviously, she's gonna go through Stockholm syndrome and start to associate with the beast and fall for him a little bit. and he's starting to fall for her, and you wonder, you know, how bad is this movie? Is the story going to be? You know where it's going. You know what's going to happen. And I'll tell you guys, my mom, she actually cried when we went to see it. She'd seen the animated one. I know because I was there when she saw it. She knew how it was going to start, knew how it was going to end, and she still cried. That's how touching it is. I didn't cry. I usually cry. I did not that time. Beautiful story. The acting is on point. Highly, highly, highly recommend it. There aren't too many twists that you don't see coming, but then again, not every movie needs an unbelievable twist. Sometimes you just need a nice, calm, cool, collect movie to suck you in, sit down, and waste an hour and a half to 2 hours. And that's what Beauty and the Beast is. Now, I'm pretty sure the sandwich is almost done. It's been in there for about 10 minutes. Let's take a quick gander. Oh, there we go. Looking beautiful. Cheese is just melted enough. The bread is nice and crispy. Turn the oven off. Now, because we're tough as nails, we're just going to pull this off. Lower it down there. Now the bread is super hot, so I'm gonna be very careful cutting it because we're taking a second knife. I'm gonna take this. I'm gonna stick it right through to hold it still. There's a bread knife. Bottom of the sourdough is nice and crispy. There we go. Now we're going to cut this half in half again because we're hungry, but we're not that hungry. Cut it in half again. Give it a couple wiggles to separate it. Pull her apart. Check that out. Beautiful. We're going to hold it up so you can see it from this angle too. Look at that. That is a monster sandwich. We're ready to go dive in. Check out Beauty and the Beast. Eat this yummy ass sandwich. Check us out next week where we're doing Lord of the Rings. We're doing onion ring poutine. Hashtag Lord of the Onion Rings. It's going to be delicious. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite series ever. Both books and movies. We're going to check it out. But right now, it's time to go check out Beauty and the Beast and Beauty and the Feast.